4.
The puns. You can have a lot of puns with those Easter dyes.
Now, help me if I heard right. She said that the dye comes from old ties?
Well, she'll take a
Is that
lot of
what
these
she
old
said?
cloths and fabrics and ties and use that as...
strip that color. That's amazing. So intuitive to do. Really interesting. What my question was, are these eggs real eggs, and are they old, sitting in her house
They
for
gotta
so
be
long?
real eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're real.
How do you preserve them without the smell?
You mean like the hard-boiled egg? I don't know how much a hard-boiled egg will smell in the future.
If I firsthand here,
Okay.
unless you crack the shell, you're totally fine. But once that happens,
So you
then
just have
it's
to be
all-
really careful with them.
Right, so that shell kind of keeps out
Really careful with them.
keeps the good smells out,
yeah.
right? Or the bad smells out.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting. See what some things people will do as their Easter traditions.
The only reason I know this one on the smell kind of a thing, there was an Easter egg not found during a family Easter one process here in my house. And it was fine to find it, but somehow that got damaged on the transport into wherever it was going to go, crushed, and oh my goodness, the smell was unreleashed.
So you were able to find it by the smell. You sniffed it out.
No, we didn't see it. We didn't find it by the smell. We just
Okay.
eventually stumbled upon it. But once it cracked, no.
Got it.
Yeah, that's why they make stink bombs out of that smell for rotten eggs.
Very effective.
Yeah, very
effective.
Very
Exactly what that is. I hope maybe you've got your Easter eggs dyed already. If you hadn't in your house, you only have a couple more days to go. So
Absolutely.
I don't think anyone's kind of holding you down for that kind of thing. You can do it Easter morning and be okay.
you could?
Yeah,
Easter
it's
tradition?
Yeah, it's an Easter tradition.
Really?
It's not like your Christmas tree's got to be up like a month ahead of time for the Easter eggs. You can do it
Just
anytime.
use the plastic ones to do your Easter egg hunt.
That's true. I guess then you can do that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll.
So
have to
Devin,
get the
what's our
closest one.
Easter weather looking like?
Well, it's looking like we may have a storm to move in, so we'll have that getting into our forecast here, and I'll let you know about that extended outlook in about 10 minutes. Right now, upper 30s to around 40s Wasatch Front, but it could be pollen. That could be something to have here today. Now, most recent, cottonwoods have been into the really high category. We've been following with cedar, walnut, and birch and oak. These are some pollen reports from when we had some sunnier skies and some beautiful weather before we had the rain to begin most of this week here. So the previous 24 hours with the rain the day before yesterday, the pollen had been back to low, but we're going to see what happens when the pollen count comes in today, because when the pollen count comes in, what you're doing is checking the pollen that was in the air the day before is the way it actually works. So I suspect it was up yesterday big time, and we expect those are going to be back up to the high category. So watch out for the pollen here today, but mid 60s for sunshine all the way from start to finish. Just a bit cool to start there, upper 30s, lower 40s. In that sun, it feels even much warmer than that. Then, as you mentioned here, Sarah, we got to discuss that weekend forecast all about Easter and an approaching storm. We'll let you know how it could have an effect on your Easter Sunday coming up.
So fun.
There it is. All right, the time now 5:28. Let's take a look at what's happening out there this morning. The Great Utah Shakeout. See the drills of hundreds of thousands of people across the state are doing today. And we're also following an incident with Trax trains out there this morning. No, excuse me, this is Front Runner.